We are cutting on a weft again today. This time we're going to do something different. We're going to do a 45-degree angle where we actually lift the hair at that angle. So once again, this was the weft, and just to kind of give you a little bit of a refresh, we're pinning at the tip here with a T-pin. T-pins have been put in your supplies, and so it goes right here at the edge. And so ending up like this, I didn't put anything in the middle because I got pretty much a good tuck. And so these are good to start off with, just to make sure that that you don't cut too much off of the regular mannequin. So this is cutting on a weft at a 45-degree angle. So we're also taking horizontal lines as we move our way up to the top. So horizontal lines, we're gonna drop about an inch, and what we're going to do, we're gonna work our way up horizontally all the way up to the top. So you're gonna slightly have your mannequin at an angle. I'm working on a vise, so take in mind that it's gonna move around. So what's gonna happen is the first piece that I'm going to cut, I'm going to bring the hair up, going to still palm my shear. So when I'm not using my shear, I take my thumb out of the thumb groove so that I don't leave my blades open, cutting any hair that I shouldn't cut. So I'm closing the blade, and this is called palming my shear, and I'm keeping my comb and scissor in the same hand and not putting my comb down on the counter. All right, and so this is my dominant hand, which I'm right-handed. If you were left-handed, it's just gonna switch. So just take in mind that my mannequin does wiggle around, so I'm gonna work through that. So as I put my comb into the hair, when I put the teeth of the comb, this is why I don't want a really thick section, so that I have control of that little bit of what I'm bringing down. So put my comb in, I lay my fingers on top of the comb as I distribute this hair. I'm going to lift at a 45, and I'm only gonna cut about an inch. So I'm not zero, I'm actually elevated at 45, palms up, facing me, and then I'm gonna create my cutting line. Then I'm gonna pick up another piece. Again, I'm going to elevate at a 45, and I'm gonna use that cutting line as my guideline. Place my comb here, and then palms up, and I'm gonna follow that guideline. So what's going to happen when I complete this is that there's going to be some slight layering. So when you're placing the comb in, I project my fingers on top. So let's say I put here. The reason why I do this is so that I get good distribution. Elevating at a 45, I can see my guideline, place my comb here, and I'm gonna match it. So what's going to happen is that when you bring it down, the ends are gonna be textured. It's gonna be textured. So there's a little bit of layering going on, starting about right here. Then I'm gonna take it down, and I'm going to add another section of about no more than a half an inch to an inch. I'm taking small sections so that you get practice with your scissors, and as many sections as you can get out of it is good practice for you before moving on to the mannequin. So again, we're cutting at a 45. I'm going to tuck this out of my way using a jaw clip, and see those jaw teeth. All right, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the same thing. Now I'm going to pick up the piece from the bottom. So I'm taking it in about 2-3 sections here. Again, distribute my comb, lay my fingers on top of the comb as I'm distributing. I'm gonna look for that guide, place my comb here, and once again, palms up, and I'm cutting at a 45. So I'm lifting slightly, and I'm matching the previous line. Then I go ahead and pick up a piece from here, marry it with the next piece, and distribute. As soon as you see the cutting line, there may not be a whole lot because I took a very small section, but I do see what needs to be cut. Last piece, 45, keep the hair moist. There's my guideline. Palms up, place the comb here, and slightly close the blade. Again, when I'm not using it, take my thumb out and I palm. So when I let it go, there is going to be some slight layering in through here because I lifted. So again, another 1/2 inch to 1 inch horizontally, work your way all the way up to the top. When you're done, I want you to blow dry it so that you can see the little bit of layers, and then we can probably flip it out a little bit. But that would be your 45. So I'm going to leave the rest up to you so that you can go to your weft and then begin your 45-degree cut.